Today I'd like to begin a new study. I'd like to take a close look at the prophecy of the 70 weeks of Daniel. Daniel had several prophetic visions that progressively revealed the future of Israel and ultimately the entire world. In Daniel chapter 2, King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that Daniel was able to interpret. His interpretation is recorded in Daniel chapter 2, verses 31 through 34. He's talking to King Nebuchadnezzar. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, and his feet part of iron and part of clay. He goes on to explain to Nebuchadnezzar that the head of gold represented him. And we see that the metals, as we go down, progressively become less valuable. Each one of these metals represented a kingdom. And he goes on in verse 34, Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon its feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. The stone that was cut out without hands represents the Messiah, who would come and destroy all of the world empires. Then another vision came to Daniel in chapter 7. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse from one another. Many Bible scholars believe that these 4 beasts were a representation of the image. The head of gold was represented by the lion with wings, which represented Babylon, fierce and great, mighty and swift. The bear with bones in his jaw represented Medo-Persia, which was also represented by the silver chest and arms, where the Medes and the Persians united and had a very slow-moving army that conquered the world and conquered Babylon, of course. Then we move to the belly of brass, which was represented by the leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads, which represented the Greek Empire, which after Alexander the Great passed away at a very early age, his 4 generals divided the kingdom. Then finally the legs of iron was represented by the terrible beast with 10 horns, which represented Rome. Then we come to one of the most important and significant prophecies in the Old Testament. Chapter 7. Daniel is in prayer, and the angel Gabriel comes to him and gives him the prophecy of the 70 weeks. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city, to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sin, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and the prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to rebuild Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the end of the war desolations are determined. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even unto the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. I believe the vision of the 70 weeks is the most important revelation made in the Scriptures. It is the key that unlocks the Scriptures. It also discloses that the 70 weeks only cover the period when the Jews are dwelling in their own land, and takes up their history again when they return to the land, thus covering the time from the going forth of the decree to restore and rebuild Jerusalem until the coming of the Messiah. During the next few weeks, I plan to go over Daniel's vision of the 70 weeks, one of the most important visions in the entire Bible. I hope you join me. I hope you'll like and subscribe and leave a comment. I value each and every one of them. So until next time, Maranatha, and may God bless.